We're live.
Okay, and ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, we are live. I want to thank you for coming in to watch this new series we have here on YouTube. Before we get into that, I want to introduce you to my right-hand man, Josh.
Hello, everyone.
Josh has been my right-hand man here for probably, oh, what is it now? 8 months now?
Yeah, since last May.
Yeah,
I think
May or
May or
June,
June. Yeah,
something like that. And I gotta say, Josh has made my life a whole hell of a lot easier since he's been here. He's the voice you're gonna hear when you call. He's answering most of the emails and taking orders and doing all the shipping and allowing me to do what I do best and what I need to do.
Yeah.
So Josh, just give me a little bit of your rundown. Like, you worked at Fun Motorsports for a while. How was that? And how do you like doing what you're doing here?
Well, it kind of fun helped me get some sales experience. I guess I was always just a blue collar worker for quite some time there until I started working there. So I mean that was good. It was great, and then I eventually branched off and came here, and it's been really good so far. So yeah, I'm liking it.
What are your biggest frustrations working for me?
I honestly don't know if I have any. I don't know if I have any. I mean, I come into work, I'm happy, and it's pretty. It's got its perks. Obviously, freedom is always nice. So yeah, can't complain.
I've enjoyed having you here. Like I said, it's made my life a whole hell of a lot easier. Getting some family time these days, which I haven't really done for the last few years. So just want to say thanks. And well, let's set up this new platform. So, Josh, I walk in here one day into the shop and I say, Josh, we're starting a podcast. And you look at me with a crazy look in your eyes and tell me what you were thinking about that.
Well, I knew there was going to be a lot of work, and a lot of work is what it has been. I mean, kind of love the idea. It's a good idea. I mean, there's not many people doing it in this platform in the quadding community, right? So I mean, there's guys that do it, but nothing along these lines. So I think it's kind of diving into a new area, which is always good. So hopefully it works out, and we'll keep grinding.
So, as far as we'll set up this new experience here we're setting up, I've been involved in YouTube for a lot of years now. I've always enjoyed making, the riding videos. You watched Asta Cruiser since 2009 or whatever, and really, really enjoy his videos and think, geez, I can do that too. And it's been fun. I mean, it's more of a hobby for me. We don't have any great amount of views or anything like that on the channel. And then the last couple of years, I've been thinking, geez, I should get more involved with YouTube. It's something I enjoy doing, and maybe I'll start doing a daily vlog and that sort of thing.
Vlogs are hard. I mean, vlogs, you gotta be doing something different every day, and just coming to work, it's tough. You have to have a what's the word? Kind of you can't have a job. You gotta be going out and doing things every day and traveling every week, and it's hard to do as a average Joe. So I mean, it could work, but that's hard stuff.
Yeah, so I kind of gave up on the idea of the vlog, and then I decided, well, we'll do some maintenance videos. I mean, I have some experience working on the Can-Ams and whatnot, so do a few maintenance videos, try to help people out that way. And some of those videos have done extremely well, in relation to the YouTube channel that we have and trying to help people with some information. And then, one night I was watching a Joe Rogan podcast on YouTube, and I know he had a podcast for a while, but I thought it was all MMA related, and I'd seen he branched out into, I think the first one I saw that wasn't MMA related was Roseanne Barr, and then Elon Musk was in there, and I just kind of got thinking, geez, I don't know of anybody doing this as far as ATV related. And I like the idea. So I just kind of said, I've worked with some, YouTube personalities and some different people around the ATV, UTV industry over the years, and I've built some personal relationships with them, some just, via internet, Facebook, some I've met in person, and it's been a really cool experience for me. And one of the things about, I watch a YouTube video or I get to know somebody, is kind of the behind the scenes stuff, the stuff that doesn't make the videos or doesn't get talked about. And that's kind of how the concept kind of was born. So the plan here, guys, is, we plan to have some face-to-face podcasts with ATV personalities, and we plan to do some Skype calls and with different people in the industry and just talk, more about the behind the scenes stuff and the things that you don't see, the things you don't think about, and, the day-to-day struggles that all these different personalities and business type people face, and kind of where it came into play. I got to tell you, I came up with the idea, this was in November, and thought, oh, this will be easy. And we, he's laughing. We went out and we bought a few $100s worth of equipment and recycled some equipment that we already had and some free software and try to put it all together. It's something that we've been doing in our spare time. But it's been a challenge, and Josh, he is the sound and video engineer, and some days
She gets a little stressful. I mean, when the sound doesn't work and everything's not working out, and you worked for the last 4 hours trying to get it to work, and it'll work for 2 tries and then it stops. I mean, it's stressful. It gets to a guy. I mean, it's not. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Just it's stressful. I mean, it's not fun trying to figure stuff out, especially new software that's not really designed for ease, I guess you could say.
Well, some of this software is, it's free software, and it's amazing at what it does. And I mean, I don't pretend to really fully understand it. And Josh is the tech guy, and it's been fun. It's been challenging. We've tried a couple failed podcasts so far, just technical difficulties, and been plagued with. But I think we've got all the I's and T's dotted and crossed now, and we've got all the technical stuff worked out. And our goal is to bring you a high production quality, and we have a lot of good guests lined up. We're going to do some shows, don't want to let the cat out of the bag right now, but we've got a lot of good guests lined up, and a few of these shows we've already shot. And moving on from there, Josh, what do you got to say? Like, what do you think of the whole thing, how it's gone down so far?
I mean, so far it's going really well. I mean, other than the technical difficulties, but that's kind of bound to happen with anything that you're just starting out. I mean, it takes a long time to get efficient at it, and we're getting there, but it is taking some time, but that's okay. And we'll get there eventually for sure.
Well, I just really hope to have a lot of fun with this and get to meet new people and talk to new people. And I guess with that, we're gonna get right into this is kind of how I foresee some of the show going with some of the YouTubers. Is we're gonna have chat with them. I want it to be, not rehearsed and kind of natural, and just a couple of buddies sitting down shooting the gears, and maybe we'll preview some of their videos, maybe some of their most popular videos, maybe some of their early stuff, and just talk about, the everyday struggles. Maybe they got some haters, maybe they got some controversy, and just see, who they are off camera, what they're doing when they're not YouTubing or not in the UTV world, and just some of the daily challenges, the rise and grind, as it will. So to set off this concept, I thought I would start with one of my own videos. This is coming from one of my favorite rides, maybe of all time. It happened this year in October. And again, I watch a video like this and I think to myself, you know, what series of events has to go down to, you know, arrive at this point, to get here. And I know on some of my videos, I'm more about having fun and don't, you know, get the video, don't get the documentation of, you know, how it went down. So we're going to start with this opening clip here, and then I'm going to feed you a bit of a backstory, and then we'll maybe watch the remainder of the clip. I hope you guys like this idea, this concept so far, and, well, roll the clip.
This is the best part of the ride, boys.
See, it's always good to keep some. I'm just watching your rear springs.
Who?
Sober people.
Who are they?
Those guys.
This is Saskatchewan Survivor Man.
Saskatchewan Survivor.
So apparently now we need hose clamps, sober people, and a rapid trap.
Water.
And water.
Why do we need hose clamps? Even though no one here has ever drank water.
Okay, just mute that for there. Okay, so here's the backstory on, you know, just what series of events has to happen to arrive at that point where you've got one Outlander mounted on top of the other. Starts off beautiful October day. We hit the trailhead, and that first section of the trail, it's full of divots and bumps, and some of it's hard and soft and tree roots, and it's just nasty. It's nothing you can do a wide open pull through, so you just got to pick your way through it and hope you survive without any breaks to get to the good stuff. So we pick our way through that, and you know, no big deal. I think only one person flipped over and whatever, but we get through there. We come to a fairly big swamp, and it has a flat, hard bottom, but there's a couple of trees on the bottom of it, which can make it challenging to get over top of it. So everybody goes. I take my turn. My belt got wet, and, you know, I managed to nurse it out of there, but get through that. There's a small section of dry trail, and another small swamp. I'm a little under the weather here, sorry guys. Another small swamp, and then some more dry trail. And at this point, Blackie, he's doing some power wheelies on his son's 800, and he pops a diff. So, you know, you let it ruin your day, or he just parked on the side and he jumps in the rescue vehicle, the Argo that we had with us, and comes along for the ride. And then get through that dry trail section, and then into this field of dreams, as we like to call it. And first thing that goes wrong out of the gate is Mrs. Ostacruiser. She's on the 6x6, and she breaks an axle. Again, not a huge deal. We'll just put that on the side of the trail. The way in's the way out. So she'll jump on the back of Osta's Renegade, and we'll just carry on down the trail. So very next hole, Osta, he lines up and he does a pull, and boom, another axle, front right. It's kind of an inside joke, but breaks the front right axle, and at that point, he says, well, guys, we're just going to pick our way back out, and so they, you know, we say goodbye to Osta and Mrs. Osta, and they turn around and they kind of pick their way back out of the trail. So we carry on down the way. We get through that first section of the Field of Dreams there, where you see us ripping through now. Pretty nasty skeg. It's awesome. I love it. We get through there. I think it's probably about 4 in the afternoon now. And we decide, well, let's go off to this warm-up shelter, and we'll start a fire and have a wiener roast, and then we'll turn around and go back. So do that, have a wiener roast, and get warmed up a bit, and a few pops. Now it's time to go. So get back to that Field of Dreams, and I'm the first one up, and I'm feeling kind of brave. And so I decide, well, I'm going to line up here and try to do a hero pull. So away I go, and boom, I get stuck. Just like I always do. Not for lack of trying, but get stuck. Pretty close to the tree line, so I say, I'll just winch myself out. And I'm winching myself out. Pop up out of the hole, and I'm just gingerly on the throttle trying to get to the tree line, and I hear like a gunshot. Boom. And again, I broke a front right axle. And the only thing holding that axle together right now is the boot. So it was the outer joint, I believe. And I look around, and everybody else had come in. They're stuck right behind me or in front of me, but everybody's stuck. So I think it's late in the day. I got to try to get ahead of these guys. I don't want to be a liability that they're waiting on. So I'm unstuck. I put the bike in two-wheel drive, and I just, gingerly set off down the trail, picking my way around everything. And I get through the first. I come up on first of all Blackie's broke down bike, and I go through that first swamp, and I stopped. I'm thinking, okay, I just want to make sure I hear. Just pause that for a sec. Yeah, I just want to make sure I hear that sweet sound of the Rotax motors, and as soon as I hear that noise, I'm gonna keep picking my way down the trail, and it's been 15 minutes and I've heard nothing. So I thought, well, geez, maybe somebody's broke or somebody's hurt, and I turn around and go back. Well, the minute I get through that swamp, I hear the Rotax music, and they're on me instantly. So we start heading back for home. Blackie gets on his bike, two-wheel drive, and we go through the first swamp, come to the second swamp with the logs in it, and can't get over these logs in the bottom in two-wheel drive, so hook a winch line up and start pulling them out. And before we get up the other side, he managed to wrap that winch line around his axle, tie rod, and snap. Now his two-wheel drive can't steer. Wind up in this position where, geez, Burley, you've got that solid rear rack. Why don't we mount it on the back of your bike? Sure, let's do it. And anyway, what's funny to me is what I enjoy the most about this is if I had waited, 2-3 minutes, I would have heard that music, that Rotax music, and I just would have kept picking my way through it. I would have been home free, just waiting for everybody, enjoying another pop. And instead, I'm starting to take some fun verbal abuse, camaraderie, and Blackie figures he's gonna do the reverse cowboy on the ride out, and it was just 3 minutes and I was gone. And instead, this is what happens now. I gotta drive in two-wheel drive through that worst ugly section of trail, and yeah. And I say it like, I'm complaining, but in all honesty, this is the best part of the ride, like I said in the video. Something I'll never forget, not for a long time. This is what makes the ride fun, and I just hope you enjoyed that backstory. So there it is, guys. That's kind of the format we're looking at going forward, just to showcase some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. And yeah. So what else do we got here before we close this out for the day?
Talk about future guests. What else?
Yeah, so we do have quite a few future guests lined up. It's just a matter of setting their schedule straight. And if you're out there in YouTube land and you're watching this, and you're in the ATV, UTV, anything, horsepower related, we'll call it, and you would like to be on the show to kind of showcase, what it is you do, and you want to try to bring some, want to maybe get into the spotlight for a bit, or if we can help you grow your channel or anything like that, just shoot us an email, give us a call. We would love to get you set up on the show. One more thing is our sponsors. Right now, we've got we're rocking the sweet RJWC stuff. We've been working with them for a lot of years. I love their products, and So they're our first sponsor for the show, and love working with those guys. If anybody has any questions about some RJWC stuff, just shoot us an email, call us on the phone. We'd love to get you some information and some pricing, and yeah, anything else?
I don't think I got anything. I think that's it.
Covered anything
When's the
else?
next episode?
Well,
What's the upload schedule, I guess, is what we're looking for, is what they might be wondering.
yeah, so the upload schedule, as of right now, we want to get, half a dozen of these shot. We've already had a few shot, and get them, post-production, get them uploaded to YouTube, and we would like to try to do one a week, maybe 2 a week. We'll see how it goes, but we want to keep the momentum rolling. We don't want to have big pauses and gaps between shows, so it's kind of scheduling right now. This is, again, something we're doing in downtime or off time. So as for when we finally launch, we hope to have, half a dozen ready to go so we can launch them all in succession and maybe keep shooting more and get the uploads going. And
I mean, if anyone has any tips or anything to help us kind of make this a little more smooth sailing, feel free to send us an email at mudandwheels@gmail.com. I mean, it'd be much appreciated for some help if anyone has experience in this. I mean, we can use all the help we can at the moment just to make sure everything's streamlined and smooth. So appreciate that.
yeah, good one. Guess one last thing, some updates. I've been promising you guys our very own Mud and Wheels diffs for a long time now. We are getting closer every day. That's about all I can offer you right now, but we're still working on that, and we're looking forward to finally having our own diffs. And yeah, we've had a pretty busy spring so far.
Trailing arms.
Trailing arms, they are coming as well. We bought out the full armor trailing arm jig. Made a couple changes to them, hopefully make them a little more rigid. Again, those are getting close. And yeah, hope you enjoy the video. I hope you enjoy the new series, and hope you tune back in for the next episode. So yeah, this is your host, Jarrett, signing out.